Welcome to Green Living. Today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different to what we're used to. Do-it-yourself or homemade projects are one of my favorite ways to pass the time. They can be creative and fun, useful around the house and home, and most importantly, good for the environment. And you guessed it, that's exactly what we're going to be doing over here, a little bit of a homemade project. Now, one of the best things that you can do to take care of your body is to start with a smile. To make sure that your smile reflects the best about you is to practice good oral hygiene. And that includes brushing your teeth every day, as well as flossing and everything else in between. Today on Green Living, with only a few ingredients easily available around your home, we're going to make two common oral hygiene products. First up is a homemade mint mouthwash. We'll get to that in just a little while, but for now, let's all learn a little more about sustainable fishing. I'm Paolo Abrera, and this is Green Living.
The Philippines is a coastal nation. A big percentage of our population relies on fish. It is one of our main sources of protein. The ironic thing is, while we depend so much on fish, we actually don't have a lot of it. Our resources are depleting and it's fast becoming a main concern.
If we look at the studies now, overfishing really is a main problem of ours, is a main threat. Abundance-wise, or in terms of how much fish we have left, if you compare now, what we have now from what we had years ago, it's not looking very good. The price of fish is getting more expensive. It's not as cheap to go and buy, say, galunggong. I think everyone is familiar enough with galunggong to know that prices have been raised from 80 pesos per kilo to now it's 160 pesos. And galunggong is actually one of the fish that's relatively supposedly abundant to find. So what more if you go into sort of the more unique species like a grouper or like the less common fish species. The reason why fish populations aren't as high now or as rich is there's too much fishing going on, and this is not just in terms of commercial fishing, it's in terms of also the small-scale fishermen who live near the coastline. Not only are there too many people fishing, it's the fishing methods have gotten really sophisticated. So from years ago when people were only using, you know, the hook and line, the simple fishing rods, now they've got everything from the huge nets. Commercial fishers have sonars that can detect where the fish are actually swimming, and they catch it in bulk. We're just catching way too much and not letting the fish rest and repopulate, and they're not able to keep up with our demand.
To address this dilemma, one group has a simple yet big solution: sustainable fishing.
In simple terms, sustainable fishing is being able to eat fish or to catch fish good enough to feed your family every day from here on until whenever. That's the challenge that we're facing now, is how to keep that status quo. So people like the Filipino who depends on fish so much, 100 years from now is still eating a good amount of fish at a affordable price.
Rare Conservation is a group geared towards helping locals take care of their natural resources. Rare has been working with communities all over the country through their Pride campaigns, spreading the word about sustainable fishing and the importance of guarding marine protected areas.
Rare's program for sustainable fishing focuses on sort of the marine areas where we protect these breeding areas for fish, and we help coastal communities and fishermen understand the need to protect these breeding grounds so the fish can sort of recover, can rest, can make more baby fish, and these fish will then sort of, when they're grown up and they need to move away from their area or their homes, they spill out. Once they exit this protected area, then they can be caught. And we're looking at fishermen to really be the ones to guard these areas so they understand also it's pretty much their future that they're also protecting. A big factor in our Pride campaigns is choosing a flagship species. So that's essentially what kind of species do you have in your community that you want to represent as what are you proud of. And for here in the Island Garden city of Samal, they chose a scallop. The scallop here was once really abundant. It was a big source of livelihood for them years ago. Unfortunately now it's very difficult to find and make a living off just because it's so hard to find. It's scarce. So that's what they've chosen, really to remind the community that if they're able to maintain the protection of the marine sanctuary, this will give the scallop time to, and as well as the fish, to recover. Their mascot is this big pink scallop, and it's a visual reminder that we need to protect the sanctuary because we want the scallops back. We want to go back to the time when we were able to catch a lot of these and make a good living off of it. Si Ma'am Rose Kugam is a resident gleaner and fisher woman actually, who has been fishing for 42 years, and she's seen sort of the big difference in her catch. So she's seen how much it used to be, or how abundant the scallops used to be, to now.
The first dive, she probably went down around 4 or 5 times. First time was maybe 15 feet, she didn't get anything. And then succeeding dive, she went deeper. I think now she's probably at 20-25 feet, and she was able to get 5. But you really see how sort of destructive the method is, because the coral is already dead, but the act of having to push it over to find these is a bit disturbing.
So we're here in Sasa Wharf. That's the Sasa Fish Market. Most of the fish here comes from Samal Island. You'll notice there's no scallops being sold because it's actually not allowed. It's illegal to be sold in the markets.
Banning the catching and selling of scallops in the markets of Samal is a sign that RARE's initiative is rapidly being recognized by coastal communities and the local officials. Fishermen are now aware of the benefits of sustainable fishing. By guarding their marine protected areas and not catching the species that are hard to find, they let the fish thrive and reproduce. In a small way, you can also help.
The best way that a buyer or anyone who would like to help programs like this on sustainable fishing is to be careful when you're buying fish. Very simple things is you want to buy fish that are big or seem mature. Now that's sort of a hard thing to do, but just go by size. Even when it comes to, say, lobsters or crabs, don't buy anything less than sort of 5 inches. Ask if it's a mature fish, if it's an adult fish, and then go ahead and buy it. So this is an example of the difference in size. So they're the same species of fish, but if you can see, this is obviously a baby compared to this one. In buying fish, you really want to try and go for the bigger fish, the adult ones, and really that is just supporting efforts to make sure the little ones get to grow and really reproduce before they're sold in markets. Another thing you can do is to not buy lapu-lapu. So lapu-lapu is a grouper, and they're highly endangered here in the Philippines and actually all over the world. So that's a direct way to really help these kind of programs is avoid eating lapu-lapu. So this here is an example of groupers being sold, lapu-lapu. As you can see, this one is actually still quite small. Groupers can actually grow to at least that big, and lapu-lapu, they actually reproduce quite mature. So that means this one probably hasn't really gotten to the stage where it's really laying a lot of eggs and producing a lot of fish.
We have the capability to make smart choices and use only what we need. We have the means to protect nature and the creatures that dwell in it. We have the ability to give future generations a healthier ocean. By keeping all these in mind, less can truly be more.
Welcome back to Green Living. Today we're going to be tackling the important issue of oral hygiene. Bacterial infections that affect the teeth and gums are probably the greatest threat to a healthy mouth, and preventative hygiene is imperative to protect against them. Yep, today we're going to be making our own oral hygiene products from ingredients found around your own home or any major supermarket. And just like I said earlier, first up is mint mouthwash. Now, as you can see, there's not that many ingredients, which means that this ain't that hard to do. These are all you'll need: 2 ounces of filtered water, a 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, a pinch of sea salt, and a drop of pure peppermint oil, or 1 mint leaf crushed. Combine all the ingredients in a bowl, stir vigorously, and there you have it. This is single-serve mouthwash, and I wasn't kidding when I said it was easy to make. Now that is fresh, and the best thing about this is it's all organic and chemical free, and that is definitely the way to go. Now up next is a homemade teeth whitening system.
Amongst the many restaurants around Makati, here's a place that any foodie would enjoy, especially those who prefer a healthier dining alternative.
Welcome to Quantum Cafe.
On a regular basis, what people come here for would be the pizzas. So our pizza is healthier, so we do it with whole wheat, more fibers into it. This is our creation, the bangus Hainanese. So same procedure as cooking Hainanese chicken, but we use bangus para fish naman. And then this is the garlic chicken with broccoli. This is our sizzling bangus sisig, and then we have a new way of serving it here. We call it the wrap and roll. So we serve lettuce, and then you put some sisig on it, and then eat it like parang lumpia.
Here, there's good food for all. There are meat, vegetarian, and vegan options.
Today, I prepared a vegetarian buffet, and it's made of our comfort foods, Filipino comfort food. I have sinigang, I have sisig, but using all mushrooms. And then there's kare-kare, gulay. I have my own version of the bagoong. Imbis na bagoong, we have sinantolan. So the sinantolan, that's the rind ng santol, and then cooked with gata and pepper, siling malaki. And then, yun mga pwedeng kumain ng garlic, we always put crunchy garlic there kasi pangdagdag lasa. This is an example of our takeout food. This is red beet or red salad with red beet dressing. This is fish curry with the condiments.
Some may see this as just another green restaurant, but for owners Bongo and Mary Jo, Quantum Cafe is a venue for sharing the benefits of nutritious food to everyone.
Maybe about 5-6 years ago, I got very sick. I had viral infection, I was hospitalized, and yet what cured me was a simple recipe that my mother gave us before, which my sister told me. If you have a low blood count, just take spinach or talbos ng kamote and liver. And then my blood test the day after, one meal, it rose from 50 to 130, almost normal in one meal. No? I asked Mary Jo, can you give me spinach and liver for the rest of the week?
With lugaw.
With lugaw. And lo and behold, after 1 week, I took another blood test. My blood count rose up to 300, high normal. So that got me into thinking in a different way about health and taking care of yourself. In the end, there's nobody else to take care of yourself but yourself. So I researched a lot. I read a lot of books. I experimented with myself. Macrobiotics, Fit for Life, all kinds of diets. I even turned vegetarian. All of them have their good points, and in the end, then there was Eat Right for your blood type. So I mixed all of that, experimented with myself, and found out that truly food is your best medicine. This became my advocacy to share this healthy viewpoint.
Putting health on the menu is Quantum Cafe's main priority, and what they give is a serving of carefully cooked food, and you get to take it in its full value.
What does healthy eating entail? It entails everything natural, everything organic, everything natural. Don't use artificial sweeteners, flavorings, don't use preservatives, mainly fresh, and also from local sources is best.
And cook it as fresh as possible for the diners too. We try not to freeze our ingredients. We buy as we need.
We also believe that the more you cook, the more you destroy the nutrients. So it's best to just eat things boiled, steamed, baked, poached. We don't do any deep fat frying.
The food, it's easy to digest. I think one of the causes of our many illnesses is the inability to eliminate. But our food is, I know that it's good. It's easy digestion. Yeah.
So we serve alkaline water, and then the fruits and vegetables, many of them you have to choose are also very alkaline. So it's things like the kind of water you take, the kind of foods that you take, even the preparation of the cooking. We don't use a microwave. Our rice is brown rice rather than white rice.
Our statement or mission vision was that we would be a healthier alternative. There is resistance, but what we do is we try to create new markets. We did sort of like profile our customers, and then we started doing events.
Quantum Cafe has also been the scene of a lot of celebrations and parties and sing-alongs, and we've had geek fights, we've had improv theater, we've had dinner theater, we've had flip-top battles, hip-hop and rock concerts. So a lot of activities are happening here.
That gives it more infinite possibilities, so we're challenged.
Yeah, that's what the word quantum means, infinite possibilities, and creating your own reality. Food is your best medicine, so is laughter, so is music, friendship and companionship and social gatherings, fun, laughter. This is all part of medicine in a very natural way.
Welcome back to Green Living. Now earlier on we made our own organic mouthwash, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make something just as easy, and it'll give you a nicer smile. We're going to be making our own organic teeth whitening solution. There are a number of reasons why you might want to get your teeth whitened. Everyone is different, and just as our hair and skin colors vary, so do our teeth. Very few people actually have brilliant white teeth. Plus, the older you get, the more discolored your teeth become. Your teeth can also be stained by certain types of food and drinks, like red wine, tea, and if you're like me, a daily cup of coffee. Just like the mouthwash, making your own teeth whitening solution is extremely easy to do. All you need is a little water, some baking soda, and a little lemon or orange juice. Get a teaspoon of baking soda, place it in a small container, and add a few drops of water to thicken the solution. Mix it until it begins to turn into a paste. Squeeze in a few drops of lemon juice or orange juice to add to the taste. And voila! An instant teeth whitening solution. Experts around the world agree that baking soda is one of the strongest and safest whitening ingredients out there because it's an acid neutralizer that gently removes stains and buildup from the enamel. Now dip your brush into the solution and you're good to go. And on that note, I'm good to go as well. For more tips and behind-the-scenes notes, you can log on to www.greenliving-tv.com or follow us on Twitter or leave a tip or two on our Facebook page. I'll see you guys next week right here on Green Living. If you're like me, you enjoy a daily cup of coffee, you'll enjoy it. Gargle, gargle, gargle. Anong line? Chris? Your teeth can also become stained by certain types of food and drinks. Food and drinks. What was in that tomato soup, man?